Okay, let me know when you guys can see me or if there's even anyone watching this. Can y'all hear me? Hey, what's up, Paul? Am I coming through? I need some feedback. I'm still not used to doing these lives. Hey, what's up, Alyssa? Can y'all hear me? Anybody? Okay, cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll wait for a few more people to get in here and then I'll give you some updates. Yeah, it's freaking cold. I'm outside right now. What's the temperature at where you guys are at right now? Unless I know you got snow, so it's got to be cold where you're at. Hey, what's up, Charlie? I see you on the map. I'm going to be passing you up here in a few days. What's up, Donica? Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and get into some of this. I guess we'll start with moon landing. So that was awesome. It was a really fun time. I got a new tattoo. I don't know if you can see it, but it's somewhere in there. Let me see if I can show you. uh, if y'all watch Alyssa's channel, which I'm sure y'all do, everyone does, she showed one of her tattoos that she got. I've got the same one, but I also got that right there. I had Abby do it. Abby from Ride and Seek, if y'all watch her channel. Yeah. It's an eclipse, in case you can't tell. And then, pardon me, but I also got this one here. If you could see it, that's the matching tattoo I got with Alyssa and our friend Van. Oh, it's cold. Is anyone else lagging, or is it just Charlie? All right, what's up, Nathan? Tuffy? I think it's just you, Charlie. All right, so yeah, moon landing, got tattoos. That was fun. And then after moon landing, I did what I always do. I go back to work, and it was on that trip that problems started to ensue. But before I tell you about that problem, even when I was at moon landing, some of my friends that were there were aware of a thing I had on my finger. uh, I'd been dealing with it up to that point for about 4 months. And then I dealt with it, well, almost 5 months and almost another month after moon landing. So now, about 6 months ago, what had happened was I was on a work trip. I don't know exactly how it happened or when it happened. I just know that I smashed my finger somehow, my index finger. And I'm going to go ahead and back up and say, I know I'm retarded. I know I'm stupid. Some things you just should not do. So you don't need to point that out. So, anyways, I smashed my finger. And you know when you smash your finger, but you don't break the skin and you get that dry blood that forms up underneath it? Well, I've done that before, on one of my other fingers, and call it stupidity or OCD. The dry blood kind of gets to me. Not like it doesn't irk me. It doesn't like it's not that I can't see it. It's a bothersome. Like I have to remove it. And so I've done this before. So I was taking some toenail clippers and just chipping away at the skin ever so slightly to get to the layer of dry blood. Well, needless to say, it wasn't dry. What's up, Joe and Emily? What's up, Vintage Conversion? What's going on? And so when I got to the layer of dry blood, it wasn't dry. A little pinprick of blood started to come out of my finger. I mean, it's about the diameter of a freckle. It was very small and minute. So I left it alone. A couple days went by. The hole got a little bit bigger and it was still bleeding. So I put a Band-Aid over it. A couple days go by. Now it's about a week. The hole got a little bit bigger. A couple days go by, about another week, and a mound started to form. And I thought it was a scab. It looked like a scab. So I tried to take the toenail clippers to it again, and I felt something painful, like a nerve. And so I left it alone. So at this point, I'm in upstate, like New York, Pennsylvania area. I hung out with the Renegades. They know what I'm talking about because I had my finger wrapped in a bandage the whole time. And if you go back to some of my videos, you'll see the bandage on my finger. All right, so I'm gonna make a long story short. 5 months I've had this thing on my finger. It's not there now. Now, if you're squeamish, look away. I'm gonna show you what it looked like after 5 months. So this is your chance. If you don't want to see it, look away. That was on the tip of my finger. 5 months of that. Yeah, oh snap is right. And just because of where it was like right in the middle. So I had to do this motion for like better part of 3 months, 2.5 months. And my hand was kind of like stuck like that because if I let it loose, like it still kind of does that. Like I just did this and now my finger doesn't want to go back down because it's afraid that it'll hit the other finger and start bleeding. That's how sensitive it was. So that long story short, yeah, I had this weird thing on my finger, and about 3 weeks ago, I finally got it cut off. Again, if you're squeamish, look away. Look away. But that's in the doctor's hand after they cut it off. And I spent about $2,000 in doctor's visits up until the point where I got cut off. And then here's the bandage. Now I'm just going to throw this out there. My uncle, y'all have seen him in my videos before. He says I've got penis finger. Because the bandage, looks like a penis. But as you can see, I'm not wearing it anymore. I took the bandage off maybe 2 weeks ago, and I had about 3 or 4 stitches, but that's what it looks like now. And what sucks is this is the finger that I use to unlock my laptop, and I still can't unlock my laptop. I have to use my secondary finger, which is this one. So yeah, that's been going on for the last 5 months. Thankfully, it's gone. I'm still getting used to using my hand because every now and then my finger just wants to go up. I haven't been able to work out in like 5-6 months, and I've got a bit of a gut from just all the driving and no working out. All right, so then cut 2. Whew. We leave moon landing. I get the surgery. I'm on my first work trip, and after my first work trip, on the way back, I'm being told, or I'm hearing something not right with the van. Sounded like a misfire and various other things. So I put it in the shop, and when I went to go pick it up, I was being told really bad news. So let's backtrack a bit. So when I was hearing it misfire or something that sounded like a misfire, I was like, well, let's go ahead and, take it to the body shop or the auto shop and have them, change all the spark plugs, maybe check my mass airflow sensor, my O2 sensor, have them check my fuel filter, And so I'm looking up, what does this stuff cost, on average? And I got to around $1,700. And I'm like, okay, I can afford that because I'm going to make about double on this work trip. Oh, wait, let me back up. So part of the reason why I haven't been uploading videos regularly on like every Sunday is because when I was at moon landing, I was expecting to upload the first video that I put out when I was heading out to New Mexico. And I got a notification on my phone from PayPal saying that they charged me almost $700. And I was like, and I'm sitting in my friend Alex's rig and we're all having dinner and I'm getting this notification. I'm like, what the shit? $700? What am I being charged for? So I immediately go on my phone, try to figure it out. And lo and behold, I find out that my Adobe Premiere subscription, which is the video service that I use to edit all my videos, had renewed. And I was like, oh shit, I can't afford that right now because I pay for all of the software. So it's like $640 for the entire year. And it's like, I can't afford that right now because I'm spending all my money to go to moon landing. So I tried to cancel it. And I was like, I'll just like buy like a month's subscription so I can edit the videos. And that's like $50. So let me cancel this. And so I thought I had canceled it before it actually was about to like legit charge me because the notification was just like, hey, we're about to charge you. So I canceled it. And then I leave moon landing and then I am on the work trip. And then that's when I realized, oh crap, it didn't cancel it. And for whatever reason, even though I canceled it, PayPal still charged the account. And so Adobe was like, hey, you paid for it, but now I owe PayPal $700. I didn't know they can do that. So long story short, that's one of the reasons why I didn't upload week to week. Cut to now I'm at the mechanic and I'm thinking my bill's going to be $1,700. He gives me a call before I pick it up. I'm like, hey, your back brakes are out too, and your rotors are warped. So we got to change those, which I was a little upset about because before I left for New Mexico, I specifically took my van to have the brakes looked at, and I was told they were in tip-top shape. Now, all of a sudden, I got to replace the brakes and the rotors. So that took my $1,700 bill to $2,600. Yeah. So that was fun. And I was like, well, I can't afford that. And then I had set aside $1,700. I put that off to the side of my savings. And the rest of the money that I had made from that previous work trip, I'd paid off some credit card debt or paid towards some credit card debt. So, all right, cut to, make another long story short. I go to pick up my van, expecting a $2,600 bill. And the owner of the shop is very cool. He was going to let me pay half now and the other half after my next work trip. So I was just going to pay $1,300 and pay the other $1,300 when I got back. As soon as I'm walking through the door, I'm going to take my funds from my savings to put in my checking. And what do I see? No money in my savings whatsoever. It is all gone. And I've got like $300 in my checking. So what had happened was PayPal took the money out of my savings to pay. And then my phone bill was due. And they took the money out of that to pay for that. And then something else. So all the money that I had saved to pay half the bill was gone. But thankfully, the owner was cool and said I can pay when I had the money. But the reason he was so cool about me paying later is because he was about to give me the news that I did not want. So I've been planning since the beginning of this build to do something to the van that I haven't told y'all yet. Some of y'all might know. So as soon as I walk into the mechanics and I'm finding out the problem, all the employees there know me and they know what I'm doing to my vehicle. And without telling y'all, they're like, hey, Bart, you're going to have to put that thing on hold. And I'm like, crap, because that thing is going to cost me a lot of money. So the bad news, I got to get a new motor. The owner said I got about 20 to 30,000 miles left on my motor, and then it's kaput. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to put it in the shop and spend thousands of more dollars just to essentially put a Band-Aid on it. I've driven it about 12,000 miles since then. All work. That's another reason why I haven't been uploading videos, is because I've just been working every single week to pay to get this motor done, which I still don't have the money. I'm buying the motor tomorrow, but I only have half the money. I got a family who's helping me pay for the other half, but I still have to pay them back. And so I'm literally, after this live, and leaving on my last work trip to make more money to pay them back for the motor before having it installed, and which I still have to get help for the labor. All in all, I'm spending about $10,000. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Any questions? Oh, good news about the motor swap though is I had a 4.6 liter and I'm upgrading to a 5.4 liter. What would I do on OnlyFans? Show my feet? That's about the only thing that I have worth looking at. I'd have to shave off the hair though, because I don't want to be showing no hobbit feet. But yeah, I'm upgrading my motor from a 4.6 to a 5.4 in hopes that I'll have better torque for hauling and for towing, because as some of you know, I've gone through 2 transmission rebuilds. The first one, I didn't have the channel started yet, and it cost me just around $3,200. And so I got the transmission rebuilt and a transmission cooler. The second one, that's when I had the channel and I was stuck in Florida for a week. That one cost me $3,900 and no transmission cooler. So the first time it happened, the high gears went out, and they was like, yeah, you can't be towing heavy loads in your high gears. You got to turn your overdrive off and drive in low gears. And I'm like, okay, stupid me. Transmission rebuild, drive in low gear. Well, guess what? Now all the low gears went out for the second transmission. So I was like, well, neither one of those are working. So let's upgrade the motor, since I have to get better torque, a little bit more horsepower, not much. Gas mileage will probably hurt a little bit more, but not much. And hope that works. So hopefully the motor upgrade, the bigger motor, will prevent from having to have more transmission rebuilds. I've spent a lot of money on that freaking motor. The van should be done. Like, technically, if not for the motor and that mechanic bill, I would be done with the van. The thing that I said I'm not going to tell y'all that I have to put on hold because of the motor, I would probably be dealing with that right now. I almost gave it away, but yeah, that would be being happening right now. But no, that's probably not going to happen until like February or March now. All right, let me catch up here. Oh, you're from Canada, vintage conversion. That's why you don't have medical bills. But if anything has taught me anything, if that makes sense, I hear, yeah, y'all don't have to pay for medical in Canada, but you don't exactly have the best medical, because there's no incentive to be better. Like, the doctors have no incentive because they're not getting paid vast sums of money. Hence why a lot of Canadians come to America to get their medical. I think it's messed up too. Trust me, I'm not saying we're better. We should have a system in place to where medical was free, but then the incentive to be the best would cease to exist. I mean, you put that with any category, though. You take away the incentive to be good at anything because the money's not there. I'm trying to pull something up. I was going to show y'all something, but I can't do it without losing y'all. See if I can do it on my phone. Yeah, I never do make a long story short. Maybe I should just stop saying that. I can't help it. I just feel like if I try to make a short story, I'm leaving out all the good details. For me, it's the buildup. Yeah, I thought about doing the motor myself, but that'd be a lengthy process, and I don't have all the necessary tools. The one thing I'm lacking is a lift, a motor lift. But then again, I don't have all the tools either. I was like, screw it, I'll just pay someone else to do it. And another reason I'm getting someone else to do it, which would be the main reason, and the reason I'm getting help uh, to get the motor is because I gotta after this next work trip, I have to house sit for a week, and so it would make sense for me to line it all up to where I can drop the van off to get done while I'm house sitting. That way, afterwards, I'm not having to go get it fixed and miss another week of work. Hey, if you guys want to pay me for a storage fee to store all my tools and buy the tools, I'll change this channel up and I'll just become a mechanic. Any one of my friends who have problems, they can just bring it to me and I'll do it. So, but again, y'all have to pay the storage fees and for all the tools. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep dumping the money into that thing over there, my home. Oh, I got one other piece of news that I can give y'all before we wrap this up. Since I'm not getting a lot of questions. So some of you will be interested in this and be like, "Oh, thank God, finally." And the others, yeah, probably just won't care, which is fine. But the week that I'm gonna not have my van and the week that which is the same week that I'll be house sitting, I'm finally going to sit down after a year almost. It'll be a year in January, and I'm going to edit the sequel to Vegan Hunter. Every time I look at it and even try to start editing, it's a nightmare. So since I can't work on my van, and since I'll be stuck for a whole week, I'm going to finally edit that video. Yeah. It's about damn time. I'm willing to bet that any one of my other friends who have a YouTube channel, if they had the footage that I had, they would probably not edit it at all. It's a freaking nightmare. But I'm going to try to do my best to make it entertaining. What is Vegan Hunter? Oh, man. Big rolling home. All right. I'll kind of give you a backstory. So, back, if I did a video last year, I think it was last year, or was it 2 years ago? I don't remember. But I was at Descend in Oregon, Descend on Bend. And I have a habit of picking on my vegan friends and friends who don't, just people who don't eat meat. Um, and so they managed in my videos at Descend and all of their videos that correspond with Descend to say that I was on a vegan journey. And I was like, okay, two could play at this game. And as soon as I got back to Texas, I made a video where I was basically hired as a hitman to go and catch all the vegans, you know, Vegan Hunter. So I've got a video somewhere on my channel called Vegan Hunter, and it ends with me being hired to go find them. And I shot the sequel almost last year in Arizona at Schoolypalooza. It's just the footage is painful. Let's just say it's hard to film a bunch of content creators who are inebriated, which is also my fault. So yeah, had hand surgery, got to get a new motor, and Vegan Hunter 2 after a freaking year will finally come out. If I can finish it in that week, I'll probably have it go up on Christmas Day. That'll be y'all's Christmas present because I don't know when my next video will be. That's why I got this poll. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I'll do another one of these before the holidays, or I'll do a work trip montage video. Schoolie Palooza? Yeah, that's where I shot it. If that's what you're referring to, Joe and Emily, I shot it at Schoolie Palooza last year, which y'all should be going to this one next year. I'm still trying to make it to this one. I think I can, because I'm getting the motor done. As long as I work between the second week of December and up to Schoolie, I should be able to go. Man, it's freaking cold out here. Oh, so I'm going to show you this. If y'all are wondering what was on my hand, my finger, I got it right here. I'm just going to let you read it because I'm going to screw it up. Yeah, that's what it is. Some type of lesion. And then you can get it from any type of wound. They don't know how it happens or why. It just happens. So, yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Anything else for me? We're almost at like 30 minutes and it's getting cold out here and I'm ready to eat some dinner before I get on the road. I got about a 3-hour drive to make from Houston to New Braunfels. I'm going to be in New Braunfels tomorrow morning. And then from there, I got to go to Dallas. I'll be in the Dallas area probably till Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. And then from there, I've got to go through Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then I'll turn back around and I'll come through Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, back into Texas, getting back in time to house sit. I got a house sit from the 9th to the 16th. And and I think my motor will be in on the 11th, and I'll drop my van off, and that'll get done over the course of the week. And then I head out again. All right, well, let me see. What do we got here? Oh, Strummy, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, my van cost a lot because I don't only just live in it, I work out of it. Like I use the van as a work vehicle. I put 100,000 miles on that van every year. So, of course, I was expecting to get about 5 to 6 years out of it, but I got 3. So, that's why I spend a lot of money on my van. And it is what it is. I'm sure I could have gone a cheaper route if I would have put more time and effort into looking for a vehicle, but I didn't. So I'm stuck with it. Yeah. I know. I wanted a diesel. I wanted that 7.3 liter diesel, Power Stroke, but I had to make sacrifices. When I was looking for a van, I wanted a high top. I wanted the new front end, not the old model, which aesthetics, but I wanted the high top. And instead of having to do it myself, I wanted to find one that had it already so I can stand up in it. I wanted the barn doors and not the sliding door on the side. And I wanted the back doors to be modified to be taller that go up into the high roof. Um, I wanted the high doors in the back rear. So if I had to use the van to haul things for my work, I'd have more room to fit stuff in. And that's why I had the Murphy bed. So I have access to the whole floor. I wanted the barn doors so I can use the doors to build on. You can't do that with the sliding door. So it gave me more real estate. And then obviously the high top. And also I wanted a 7.3 liter Power Stroke diesel motor. Well, I found everything that I wanted except for the motor. So I was like, motor or living working space. And I went with living and working space. But if I spent more time, I probably could have found what I wanted and got it. But then if I spent more time, I probably would have gotten a bus. But then if I would have spent more time, I probably would have gotten a military rig like my friend Alex. That's what I really want. But that would have been a gas guzzler for what I do for work. So maybe in the future. Okay, let's see. There's already somebody that does consulting for builds, and their name is Chuck Cassidy, Tuffy. So I don't think I'd gain a lot of work in that field. Besides, I only know what I know about my build. I couldn't tell people about their stuff. I could just tell them what not to do. Like, don't spend your money on this. Don't spend your money on that. That's about the only consulting that I could do. But I think Chuck does a good enough job on that as well. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in. I just felt like I needed to update because I only put out like 2 videos over the last, 2 months, where normally I would have already 8 videos out. So that's why. Trouble in Paradise, that back there, and my hand, and just, it was just all compiling one after another. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy. So yeah. All right. I will see y'all next week. I will look at the poll and see what you guys all voted on and do one of those 2 things. I'll either do another live just to chit chat before the holidays, because I don't know if I'll do another video until January after next week, or I'll do a montage of work, which is not really fun. I don't like doing it, but whatever you guys want, I'll do it for that week. I don't mind, but I do. All right, guys. I will see y'all not maybe next week. I'll see you later. All right. Peace.